I didn't believe in vampires, at least until that summer. It happened a few years ago when I returned to the village where my father was born. Small, lost among the mountains, with several dozen old houses and a cemetery that was larger than the settlement itself. I came there after my grandfather died. It was necessary to sell the old house, disassemble things, sign documents. The usual thing. But from the first day something was wrong. Not the atmosphere. People. They looked at me as if I had done something I didn't know about myself. On the first evening, I went to a local store. Small, with a wooden floor that creaked at every step. The seller, an old woman with deep wrinkles, stopped cutting bread when she heard my last name. "Are you his grandson?" she asked softly. "Yes." She was silent for a long time. Then she crossed. "Are you here for a long time?" "For a few days." "Sell the house." She nodded. But when I was leaving, I said, "If you hear that you are being called at night, don't answer." I thought she was joking. It turned out not. There were many old things in my grandfather's house. Photos, letters, newspapers, and something strange, all the mirrors were hung with cloth. I removed one curtain. An old mirror, darkened from time to time, and immediately felt a strange feeling, as if the room was getting colder. I didn't pay attention then. I didn't sleep well at night. The old floor creaked, the wind buzzed in the chimney. But at 3:12 I woke up to the sound. Someone was walking near the house. Slowly, like bare feet on gravel. I looked out the window. No one. There is a dark spot on the ground, like a wet trail. The next day I found my grandfather's diary, hidden in a chest, under old shirts. The pages are yelted, the handwriting is uneven. First, the usual records, weather, garden, neighbors. And then the tone changes dramatically. His back. The dogs are howling again at night. Marika is dead. The doctor says the heart. But the neck. I reread these lines with a strange feeling. It's like my grandfather didn't write it for himself. And for me. That same day I went to my neighbor, old Mikola. He knew my grandfather all his life. When I remembered the diary, it was silent for a long time. Then he said, "You're not local anymore. You may not believe it. But here, there were other things." "What things?" He looked at me carefully. "Have you heard of Andrew the Black?" I shook my head. "He lived here 100 years ago. Smitnik. No one loved him. People said it was strange. I didn't go out during the day. I walked around the village at night. And what?" Mikola took a drag on his cigarette. "Then people started dying. According to Mikola, it all started with the children. They were weak for no reason. There were almost no doctors then. The priests said it was God's punishment. But one woman noticed something strange. All the dead have the same marks on their necks. 2 small wounds. People knew then what it meant," Mikola said quietly. "But they were afraid to speak." "What happened to Andrew?" The old man didn't answer right away. "He was found in the woods, like dead. But, he didn't decompose." Mikola did not want to tell for a long time. But in the end he gave up. 3 days after the funeral, another boy died. Then people went to the cemetery. "Are you serious?" It was a long time ago. They thought otherwise. They excavated the grave. They found the body. Fresh. With rosy cheeks. And blood on the lips. "He was nailed to the coffin," whispered Mikola. "With an aspen stake." I laughed nervously. "Do you believe it yourself?" The old man looked at me in such a way that laughter was stuck in my throat. I saw the grave. I already wanted to write everything off on village horror stories. But that night something happened that changed everything. I woke up from a knock. Through the window. Slow. Rhythmic. Took. 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 I came closer. And froze. There are fingerprints on the glass. From the inside. It was as if someone was standing behind my back. I turned around abruptly. No one. But the fabric from the mirror was on the floor. I remembered for sure I didn't touch her. Slowly came closer. And then I saw. In the mirror. I wasn't alone. There was a figure behind me. High. Hood. With dark eyes. I turned around. No one. When I looked in the mirror again, I was the only one there. The next day, I went to the district archive, just to prove to yourself that it's all fiction. I found old records, newspapers, church books. The name of Andrew Black was there, and next to it is another name, my grandfather. It turned out that he was one of those who opened the grave, and there was something else written. The tomb has been moved. The place is secret. Why? I realized it too late. When I got home, I opened the diary again. The last page was empty. I was about to close it when I noticed something strange. Barely visible words, as if written in weak ink. I brought the page to the light, and I read, "He's not dead. We just closed it, but the sky is rotten." I got cold. It's very cold. In the evening, all the dogs in the village began to howl, simultaneously, as if on a signal. I went out into the yard, and I saw people. They were standing at the gate. "Shut up." The same look as on the first day. "Did you hear?" asked the saleswoman. "What?" She whispered. He woke up. Then they told the truth. My grandfather was the last to know where the vampire was buried. He didn't tell anyone. I was afraid. But before he died, he began to repeat the same thing. He will return for the blood of his kind. I laughed. Nervous. "Do you seriously think that?" And then I saw. I have a thin scratch on my hand, which was not before, and blood flowed from it. I packed my things and decided to leave that same night. But the car didn't start. I didn't catch the phone. The light in the house began to flash. And then I heard footsteps. Behind the door. Slow. Pulling. Like the first night. Someone knocked. 3 times. I was silent. I remembered the words of the seller. "Don't answer." But then I heard a voice. Quiet. Familiar. Open. Granddaughter. Grandpa's voice. The tears came by themselves. "I know you're there," the voice whispered. "I'm freezing." I went to the door, and I saw a shadow under the threshold. She didn't move. She was throbbing. I did something I shouldn't have done. I looked in the eye, and I saw him. It wasn't my grandfather. His face was too pale. The eyes are too dark, and the smile too wide. And then he raised his head, and he looked straight at me. Although I didn't have to see, I jumped away from the door. My heart was beating so much that it hurt. And then I remembered the mirror. I turned around. It stood behind, and I saw the truth in him. He wasn't standing outside the door. He stood in the house. I just didn't see him until I looked at the reflection. I don't know where I got my strength. I grabbed the mirror and threw it on the floor. The glass broke, and along with him, something else. Scream. Not human. Not animal. Something in between. And silence. Full. Deaf. I woke up on the floor. The sun was shining through the window. The house was empty, as if nothing had happened. The car started the first time. I left without looking back, and never came back. I tried to forget it. Moved. Changed jobs. Life went on. But sometimes, at night, I wake up with a strange feeling. It's like someone is standing next to me, and he looks. I received the package yesterday. No sender's address. There was an old envelope inside, and a photo, black and white. There are a group of people at the grave. I recognized my grandfather, Mikola, and another man. High, lean, with dark eyes. On the back it was written, "We were wrong. It could not be locked. It's attached to blood." And below is a new inscription. Fresh ink. With my hand. He already knows where I am.